Do the West and the Muslim world see eye to eye on gender equality? The Gallup poll finds that gender equality is one of the top responses American women give when asked what they admire least about the Muslim world. In fact, 72% of Americans as a whole do not think that Muslims believe women and men should have equal legal rights.
I think that's partially a problem that we Muslims have in terms of how we've framed our religion to other people. I mean, people see what they see, and if your eye sees that women can't drive in Saudi Arabia, even if it's just a regional cultural context, that reflects on the whole Muslim world.
It's much easier to accuse other cultures of undermining women's rights and not looking into your own society. Women in the West are subject to domestic violence, are subject to rape, are subject to discrimination in the workplace, etc. So women have a cause internationally. Women have a cause in all societies. It's the mission of women to take again in their hands their own belief system and to reform it and to defend their own rights.
A majority of Muslims in almost every predominantly Muslim country Gallup polled say that women deserve the same legal rights as men. In Saudi Arabia, for example, a country in which women cannot legally drive a car or vote, 61% of women say they should be able to drive a car by themselves, and 69% say they should be able to vote without influence.
The Quran, which is our divine book, has addressed men and women on equal footing. However, the culture in many of the Muslim countries have interpreted sometimes the religion or Islam as if it favors men over women. But that is, again, the hardliners' interpretation of Islam.
I do think that women in the Muslim world are having difficulties in some situations, not because of religion actually, but because of the lack thereof.
Gallup finds that high percentages of both Muslim men and women associate gender equality with Western nations. But that doesn't necessarily mean these Muslim men and women want to adopt Western values in their own countries. In fact, Gallup numbers show it is quite the opposite. In Indonesia, only 12% of women believe adopting Western values will help in their progress. And in Iran, the number is slightly higher at 20%.
I think that if you went to Iran, you would find lots of women who feel that they're poorly treated by Sharia law. At the same time, if you go and you talk to a large number of women in Cairo or in Jordan and you see them wearing a veil and you say, "Oh, my poor oppressed sister, how can they do this to you?" She'd look at you like you were insane, because she's wearing the veil because she chooses to, because this is how she shows respect to God. And she doesn't feel like this is an imposition, and that's something that many Americans and Westerners have a really hard time with. It's not as easy as saying, "Oh, all women are happy with Islamic law," because they're not. But we shouldn't, at the same time, flip it over and assume that all of them aren't.